of Medicine. The word organon is derived from Greek word organum, which means literary work, a method of scientific investigation, instrument of thought, system of logic. The word organon was used for the first time by Greek philosopher Aristotle for all his literary work. Lord Francis Bacon wrote a book on logic in Latin named Novum Organum, which is the second volume of his Instauratio Magna. These must have influenced Hahnemann to name his book as Organon. Definition of Organon as per 6th edition. Organon is the high watermark of medical philosophy, the practical interpretation of which produces a veritable mountain of light and will guide the physician by means of the law of cure to a new world in therapeutics. Now the question arises, why to study Organon? Organon answers to all the questions like which potency to be selected, frequency of repetition of medicines, how do we know the remedy selected is correct, and also do's and don'ts of the physician. It also answers the allegations imposed on us on the theory of vital principle and potentization and infinitesimal dose. How to study Organon? The answer is in the ground plan of Organon. For example, if you see this image, you can hardly recognize it. But if you zoom out, we all know it's the very famous portrait of Mona Lisa. Similarly, to study Organon, we should first view it from an eagle's point of view and then zoom into the details of it. Contents of Organon of Medicine. Translator's preface by William Borick. Introduction by James Krauss. Introduction by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Aphorisms. The ground plan of Organon. The aphorisms are divided into the doctrinal part, aphorism 1 to 70, and the practical part, aphorism 71 to 291. The doctrinal part is further divided into following. First, the physician's mission, which includes the first and the second aphorism. The first aphorism states, the physician's high and only mission is to restore the sick to health, to cure, as it is termed. And what is actual cure is given in second aphorism. Second, requisite knowledge of a physician, aphorism 3 and 4. Knowledge of disease indication, knowledge of medicinal power, knowledge of application of drug knowledge to disease knowledge, knowledge of choice of remedy, knowledge of exact mode of preparation, knowledge of proper dose required, knowledge of proper repetition of dose, knowledge of obstacles to cure and their removal. The third point is the knowledge of disease, aphorism 5 to 18. We do not believe that cause of disease is materialistic, but it is derangement of the vital force which is expressed in the form of signs and symptoms, which forms the totality of symptoms leading to the portrait of the disease. What is the portrait of disease? For example, identify the person in this portrait. Yes, it is Mahatma Gandhi. Similarly, in a disease, we need just the totality of symptom which guides us to our remedy. And the totality of symptoms is the outwardly reflected picture of the internal essence of the disease, that is, of the affection of vital force. Knowledge of drugs, aphorism 19 to 21. Actually, it gives us the answer to question why we should have knowledge of drugs. And it is, disease-producing power is the disease-curing power of medicine. For example, ingestion of cinchona bar produces fever and China officinalis cures. Application of drug knowledge to disease knowledge, aphorism 22 to 27. Hahnemann mentioned different methods of application of drug in disease like allopathic method in the footnote 12 of aphorism 22, the antipathic method in aphorism 23, and the only method of cure, the homeopathic method in aphorism 24. Aphorism 26 states the nature's therapeutic law. A weaker dynamic affection is permanently extinguished in the living organism by a stronger one if the latter, whilst differing in kind, is very similar to the former in its manifestations. We will learn in detail in the upcoming videos. The next section covers aphorism 28 to 69. A. Knowledge of how to choose a remedy. Modus operandi of homeopathy. Susceptibility in which conditional and unconditional forces are mentioned. Dissimilar diseases. The three conditions are mentioned. We will learn in the further videos. B. Different mode of administration of remedies. Here, in detail, Hahnemann has discussed different mode of administration of remedies and mentioned isopathy for the first time in footnote to aphorism 56. Under allopathic method, one of the cruelest method is the Brousseau's method mentioned in footnote to aphorism 60. C. Superiority of homeopathic mode of administration of drugs is explained with the help of primary action and secondary counteraction and secondary curative action. Inferences drawn from all the aphorisms till now is mentioned in aphorism 17. What we can perceive in a disease is the totality of symptoms, and this can be corrected by the potentized drug, which in their raw form produces same disease and cannot be corrected by agent which produces dissimilar morbid symptoms. So from our experience, out of antipathic, allopathic or homeopathic method, homeopathic is the only method of cure. The practical part will be discussed in the next video.